Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be able to juggle endless responsibilities while you feel exhausted just trying to keep up with daily life? If you consider yourself a sensitive person, there may be a very real neurological reason for that. Today, we're going to talk about why highly sensitive people are more prone to chronic fatigue and burnout, and what can be done about it. I'm Madeleine Lowry, a neural retraining specialist, and in the last episode, I talked about how sensitive nervous systems process trauma more deeply, which can lead to long-lasting stress patterns. Today, we're going to look at another piece of that puzzle: energy. Many of the people I work with describe feeling exhausted in a way that doesn't make sense. They may say things like, "I used to have so much energy. I feel like I'm running on empty all the time now, and even small tasks feel overwhelming." Often they have tried everything: supplements, diets, sleep routines, but their energy still doesn't return. And what many of these people have in common is that they also identify as highly sensitive. Let's talk about why sensitive nervous systems use more energy. Sensitive nervous systems tend to process more information from the environment. They are more sensitive to subtleties. They pick up emotional cues from others. They are often deeply empathetic, and all of that processing requires neurological energy. Think of the nervous system like a computer. Some computers run very simple programs. Others are running dozens of complex processes at the same time. Sensitive nervous systems are often running many processes simultaneously. And when stress enters the picture, that energy demand increases dramatically. When the nervous system perceives danger or stress, it activates the stress response. This response mobilizes energy for survival. Your heart rate increases. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released. Muscles tense. Attention narrows. In the short term, this response is helpful, but when it becomes chronic, it starts to drain the system. Sensitive individuals are often more vulnerable to this because their nervous systems are more reactive and more vigilant. Over time, the body may remain in a subtle but persistent state of stress activation. And that constant activation uses a tremendous amount of energy. Many sensitive people can maintain this high-effort way of functioning for years, sometimes decades. They are often extremely conscientious, overly responsible, empathetic, hardworking, deeply committed to caring for others, but eventually the nervous system reaches a limit. At that point, symptoms may begin to appear: fatigue, brain fog, anxiety, sleep disturbances, chronic pain, immune dysregulation. From the outside, it can look like something has suddenly gone wrong, but in many cases, the nervous system has simply been carrying too much for too long. And the hidden energy cost of chronic stress shows up as burnout in midlife. When someone experiences burnout or fatigue, they are often told to sleep more, exercise more, eat differently, or reduce their workload. And sometimes those things help. But if the underlying stress patterns in the nervous system remain unchanged, the fatigue often remains or returns, because the nervous system is still operating with the same subconscious programs. Programs like over-responsibility, perfectionism, hypervigilance, people-pleasing, and monitoring the emotional needs of others. These patterns quietly keep the stress response activated, and this is where neural retraining can be transformative. Instead of trying to push the body to produce more energy, we work at the level of the nervous system patterns that are consuming energy. In a neural retraining session, the subconscious mind begins identifying and neutralizing the emotional charge associated with past experiences. As those charges dissolve, the nervous system gradually shifts out of chronic stress mode. When that happens, many people notice something remarkable. Their energy begins to return naturally. Not because they're forcing anything, but because the nervous system is no longer spending so much energy on protection and vigilance. One of the most beautiful things I see in this work is that when the stress patterns dissolve, sensitivity itself becomes a strength again. People rediscover their creativity, intuition, empathy, emotional depth, and joy in simple experiences. The qualities that once felt overwhelming become part of a balanced and resilient nervous system. If you consider yourself a sensitive person and you've struggled with fatigue, burnout, or chronic symptoms, it may not be because your body is weak. It may be because your nervous system has been working overtime for many years. The good news is that the nervous system is incredibly adaptable. When we begin to neutralize the stress patterns stored in the subconscious mind, the system can finally reset. And when that happens, energy, clarity, and resilience often return. If you'd like to learn more about this work, please visit tcneuralretraining.com. Schedule a free consultation by phone or take our free quiz. And if this episode resonated with you, please follow the podcast and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for listening. Content of this podcast copyright 2026 by Twin Cities Neural Retraining. Music by Barbara Ben.